Today I have decided to communicate through the language of English, though it is alien to me. So I'll try my level best to communicate. If there is any grammatical error or if there is any syntax error, so don't pay much attention to it, but try to understand the essence which I am trying to convey, which is flawless. So someone asked me the other day how to learn painting or sketching. So I can say with certain authority that sketching is something everyone has to pursue unconditionally. It actually liberates the mind. Many people paint and they actually indulge in inexplicable, indescribable, and futile imaginations. For example, you look at a tree or you look at a mountain and you sit in front of it with your watercolors and a sketchbook and you paint. Actually, are you really painting the mountain? Or you are just painting the mountain which already you have in your mind? You will never know that you actually got the crux of the subject which you are dealing with. But there is a methodology. Forget the colors, forget the nature, forget everything which is far beyond from where you stand. Just buy a sketchbook, a good sketchbook. Because many a times it happens when the paper quality is less feeble, then everyone expresses himself in a great deal. But if you have a paper which is worth 100 rupees, your hand does not move. Why? Because your mind says that it is expensive. Make sure whatsoever you are doing or painting should be good, otherwise 100 rupees is wasted. Because we have been fed up with all kinds of nonsense from our childhood by everyone. You are nothing but a stuffed potato. So I include myself. I was also a stuffed potato prior. Now I had just got rid of everything. I made my mind cleared of all the rubbish which I was carrying all along. So let me come to the point. So put colors and all kind of compositions, indulging in imaginations. Drop imagining things when you have the sketchbook in your hand. It is actually a new age meditation method which I am introducing to this world. Because all the meditation systems have something where the body has less responsibility and mind has more responsibility. Mind is higher than the body. Body is just has to sit somewhere and the mind is doing something. That is not the case. So meditation is all about establishing a synchronicity between the mind and body complex. Then it should get extended to the beyond which is you are surrounded with. So sketching is something. You should not draw something which you have been imagining. So I used to work in an animation industry as a cleanup artist, as a character designer, and sometimes as a layout designer as well. Then my master was a unique man. I have never seen such a beautiful artist or a beautiful free flowing hand painting something, drawing something in front of my own eyes, flawless. The strokes were accurate, immaculate. Just few strokes are enough to establish the emotion and the feeling and the contour and the surface and the structure and the composition of the whole of it. His name was Jitu Patel. I don't know where he was, where he is right now, but he actually my early inspirations. He used to tell me that look at something, draw as it is. Don't imagine, don't add your imagination to it. This is meditation. Don't add imagination to life. Live the way as it is. Without indulging in assumptions. So now you have a sketchbook in your hands, you have a pencil. Buy a good pencil and make sure you never buy an eraser. Or I suggest you should draw with pen directly, because you should start to begin accept your mistakes. We have this old habit of correcting mistakes. It will in reality never happens. Whatsoever happens. You cannot correct it. Just look into it, understand it, polish yourself and move on. Again, throw yourself into the mystery of life. Then that will lead to the next moment to moment. That's how one should live. The same thing should be applied to this aspect called sketching. Universally, from hundreds of years, there are many people, including Vincent van Gogh or Michelangelo. You have to see their sketches. Have you ever seen the trunk painted by Michelangelo or Vincent van Gogh? The leaves, the landscapes, and Da Vinci. They are practical. Practically, they are trying to understand something, whatsoever they see, and they try to put it on paper. So the best way to begin with is the objective drawing. Object means you just go into kitchen, you will find at least 1,000 objects. The spoon, the cup, the mixer grinder, the knife, all kinds of vessels of different sizes and different volumes, different colors, plastic, all kinds of materials you will find. Just look at them, pick up one object and spend your at least 1 month of your time with that object. Look at it. Because here, when you draw a mountain, there is a possibility of adding your imagination. But when you draw a cup, it is not easy. You have to understand all the fundamentals of the drawing in order to establish that particular object on the paper. So object drawing can be used as a meditation method. So in order to begin, don't even go to objects. Don't indulge in imagination. Buy a good gel pen. Never buy eraser. Accept your mistakes. And learn the art of destroying the sketchbooks. Number them. First sketchbook, second sketchbook. Waste a little money. We don't have to bring mathematics and logic and calculations and money aspects in every act we do. Not necessary. Just keep on drawing lines in one sketchbook. Small lines, big lines, line after line, consecutive line. It is a play. And remember one thing, whatsoever gives you a high, there is a problem. And wherever you are getting bored while doing, there is something in it. Because in the seed, there is boredom. If you allow that to blossom, then you see a beautiful tree coming out of it. So sketching, drawing lines, drawing curves, drawing circles of all sizes, drawing ovals. These 4 things you have to practice. Lines, circles, half circles, and ovals. With lines, you can construct boxes. With ovals, you can construct anything. With circles, if you combine all these things, all the objects of the world can be drawn. So let me conclude by saying this again. Buy a sketchbook, put your imagination aside, stop indulging in imaginations, buy a good gel pen, and buy a good quality sketchbook and start destroying them with a clear-cut methodology. This is the right path to progress in this aspect. It works miraculously, I can say. And you can do it lifelong, wherever you go. Everyone carries a mobile. But these days I have not seen anybody hanging a satchel and keeping a sketchbook and pen in it. And not only lines, if you have anything in your mind, backside of the book you can write either poetry or prose or a story or a nice line. So turn that into a breathing document. So we have now can do something like hundreds of sketchbooks available in the market of various sizes, various shapes, different kinds of sheets, ivory sheet sketchbooks, buff sheet sketchbooks, and ordinary papers, different kind of GSMs. This is practical. You don't have to think about it. You have to do something about it. And if you look into the history of sketchbooks, every great artist used to have a sketchbook. And they have painted rigorously. And they have painted everything whatsoever they have seen before. So the beginning is to draw lines, circles, curves, and ovals. If anybody, whosoever listens to me, if you do that, only to them I'll guide further. Because I have no interest in indulge in meaningless conversations. I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time either. So we have walls in your house. Whenever you draw something, tear a paper and stick that paper on the wall. And you see, accept your mistakes, accept your inability, and accept your fumblingness, and accept your strokes, and as well as accept your progress as well. Witness. So within a year, your hand and mind will be in tune. Whatsoever mind thinks, whatsoever mind and your senses look at, immediately hand starts trying without delaying a second. There the door of magic begins. And there is no end to it. There is one great artist, I came to know that recently he passed away, Kim Jung-ji. Have you seen his sketchbook? Very soon I am also going to release a sketchbook journal that will be costly, like 10,000 rupees. Because I don't want to put my sketchbooks, my experience, in those hands of reluctant people. It should reach to the right people so that they also start practicing. So less imagination, more practice. And whatsoever your senses see, just draw that. To begin with, start with lines, curves, circles, and all that. Then every day you have a cup of tea and choose one particular cup, particular color, and keep on looking at it and quickly draw that cup with the basics you have learned, with the lines, with curves, with ovals, and with circles. Whatsoever you see, you have to establish the drawing with these fundamentals. And the last and the most important suggestion, if at all I have to make, never try to clean the drawing, never try to make the drawing beautiful. Slowly, slowly, beauty seeps into your actions. You don't have to try for that. Consistency is the key. Keep on doing, keep on doing, keep on doing. Forget the time, keep on doing, forget the time. Don't count these many sketches, this much time I have practiced. Put number aside. At least there is something in our life we are doing purposelessly with utmost sincerity. Okay. So I also studied in Telugu medium. I know, and many years of my life, I don't even know the significance of this language. There is not even a person around me who can speak. Now, this generation kids are fortunate. They have that English atmosphere, English speaking people. Even they have media available in their hands. They can actually watch English movie or English speech or discourse, or they can read English books. But when I was a boy, it was not that easy because it was not available at all. So after 25 years, when I came to Hyderabad, first time, I have realized the importance and significance and how much vital role the English language is playing in the world. Then what to do? So I used to have a friend, I used to request him that please speak to me in this alien language. So initially he pushed me a little, but I have realized that this is not the way. So I have to bang my head to a wall which is called English. Then I fumbled. I got inspired. I lost interest. Many things happened. Now I personally feel that I can communicate a little better way. So for every English discourse I put, in the beginning and in the end, I'll say this. But if you find any mistake in my grammar, don't pay much attention to it. Because grammar may have little flaws, but the essence which I try to convey has no flaws. Keep practicing. Stop thinking. Enjoy your life as it comes. Enter into the realm of art, of sketching. Kanth'Risa.